improvement. In terms of maps, obviously Dust 2 up first. This was the pick of Nemiga. Next up is Inferno as MDS puts his USP to use, but only gets the one. Interz instantly rattles the Saber and puts him down. 4-on-4 as Catwalk control is forthcoming, but Speedak back into the lineup again after yesterday's absence, making that presence felt. Locking it down. Exile, though, with 2 of his own. One of the key members to look out for Gambit, joined by Nafany, who is looking to go for the cross on long. Post plant comes into play. Utility is scarce. The kit has been picked up, but now Jo is coming up close. Needs his teammate, the Forester, to do something special, or perhaps not. Maybe he can do it all alone. Exile, who's already got 2, is going to get a 3rd and is looking for the quad and connects. Headshot.
Learned with this Nemiga side is they are unrelenting with their ability to, I guess I'll be nice and say be proactive. I think that's the best way you could put it. They like to challenge. They don't give any map control up for free. And you can see a few of the players starting to get almost itchy feet as they want to try and take a fight. Speedak peeking into mid. The cross connected. He doesn't actually get the kill, but there's the reaction from Box. Bounces straight through short and manages to get a double opener for his side. Great work from him on the timing. And now, well, 25 seconds left. They have to go B.
Yeah, Forrester, the man stepping in the shoes of Lollipop, and so far so good. Headshot delivered, forces back Gambit. Both of them were low. And I thought it was an interesting idea. You know, Gambit originally really did pressure that long control and then decided to just back away. Nemiga got some really good picks in middle.
Round utility's actually not too bad either, although the kit only being on the AWPer and with how proactive a lot of the time we see Speedak being, I don't know how viable that kit's going to be coming into the post plant.
Speedak subsided by so many flashbangs. And now that he's been forced away, they can get their eyes onto the site. The bomb is actually one of the last players in. Will take a few more seconds, but with no catwalk control on the CTs, and Exile watching from the off angle, using the barrels as a bit of sanctuary. He now pounces into action, nearly getting 2, but information attained, allowing Shiro to play up closer with the AWP. A great Molotov actually forces him away, but there's 2 players now there. But Nemiga can't force the handle. Maybe they will. It's just blunt force, but Hobbit holds on with the AK. And in doing so, the round is put in the bag. It will be a 6-1. And Gambit going from strength to strength. It just feels like to me, Tom, that Nemiga are being slowly constricted out of this map. Don't really feel like they have any control whatsoever.
Wins that battle when it comes to be 4 and 8 for someone who's normally, wow, one of the 2 stars, I guess you could say. Speedak, though, that is utterly ridiculous. He's just taken the head straight off Nafany. Couple of decent plays coming out from. They're gaining in confidence, at least. Axstar, though, it's almost like you're playing against their laser beam. Like, I don't know how he just manages to make that look so easy, but I can tell you right now, it's not.
Yeah, it has this like motion detector aim, just snaps onto the heads, and completely agree that Shiro is having a rough day of it right now. Missing some shots you'd expect him to land, and as much as he's been poor, Exile has been excellent. And at some stage, he is going to need the rest of the troops to help him out. Interz up close. Dispatches Forrester with haste. Speedak getting in after a beautiful flick earlier onto Xbox. Now looking to play a little bit more aggressively. Misses that shot, but won't the second time of asking. And they filter in one by one. It goes to show just how confident Exile is, that even knowing that Speedak is up there, goes to face him. He tries to go across to the A side. He falls down. Geo now with the AWP in window. May have a free shot at Hobbit. They've definitely spotted one another, and Geo goes out for the repeat.
And the problem is they're checking their flanks, but they haven't caught anything. And Hobbit is now right behind them, pincering them in. The remaining 4 players are able to just hold up on this site. And Axile, he's in a good position here. Nafany already drops one. They're slowly going to realize, oh dear God, everybody's here. And this is before Hobbit runs back round behind them. They spot him though and manage to take him down. Somehow, with all the pieces in play for the side of Gambit, they're at a man disadvantage.
Unbelievable change of events, but now Gambit had another couple chances. spotting a few pixels darting back and forth on the site. Nafany positioning, waiting for one of these players to bob and weave and show their head. And if he can take it off, it gives them an avenue back into this round, but instead it's MDS that holds his position. Nafany gets splattered, and interz going for the peak. May even think about saving this, and indeed he shall. He has a kit, or pardon me, not a kit, Kevlar to play behind, so it will bolster up his next round by if they decide to go for it. That does mean, though, that Nemiga will pick up a 7th and put themselves into great stead to come straight back into this map and make it close once more.
Might actually be the player to pressure here. He's been having a bit of a rough one still, though. His shot may not land a killing blow, but it has done an extensive amount of damage.
Yeah, and already weakened Nemiga are being pushed and probed time and time again. Can't quite seem to get settled. Have at least got 1 kill for their trouble, so interz has been dealt with. 55 seconds, smoke has been deployed, but will be dwindling away, and just in time for Axile to show up with the M4. Nemiga in trouble. Grenade not quite going deep enough to bother Geo, who is the low weakened player. Could have got picked off from that nade had it been a little bit further in. But they're not even sure as to where the CTs are now, Tom. So they'll be feeling compelled and somewhat pressured to go straight in. And if they slow peek this, it's right into Shiro. He will not be missing that opportunity. Geo already thinking about saving. But look at all the CT's positions. He never stood a chance. Go back and watch that fight anytime in the next year. 40 seconds left, though. Forrester, good Molotov onto the right-hand side. Allows him to pass through without making any sound cues. Hobbit, though, is playing very passively, patiently up on the boxes. Not for the first time. Nemiga taking their sweet time to get in amongst the frags, and they've come out second best in Forrester. Hobbit takes him. interz, different angle. Remember, he's very low from that earlier fight, but Geo on his low HP goes in first. More damage inflicted. Still alive, though. Still keeping away from the grave, but only for a few more moments, and it feels like this round is now falling into place alongside the map. 5 seconds, it's over. Gambit take it 16-8. Doesn't matter if MDS gets kills, because it's done.
Yeah, a strong performance from them in the end. It seemed like there was a moment or two where we could see this one come back a little bit into their favor, but it didn't really look like Gambit broke too much of a sweat. And
a powerhouse. MDS making noise in apps, trying to keep them interested over on this position. It's Axile that was taking that first point, actually backs away and dips. He's not fully buying on this. He feels like this is a bait. Instantly goes into archers instead. So they have a great read of this situation, Tom. Maybe too good, because they've got into position. They've stayed there. Flash comes out. Nafany now goes for the information, sees nothing, and can make the call for the rest of the team to now make a move behind. But I wonder if Nemiga, hearing that flash, anticipating the peak, have then decided to go from middle back up to banana again. This is such a strange game of cat and mouse. The mind games are so huge. But Nafany now in position with the aforementioned dual Berettas, waiting for a flash. It never comes, doesn't need it. A little too late. Jayo's already lost his life, and now they're forced to push in, and it's the Julies again that come out ahead. He goes in for more. Every single second that he stalls them in banana, Nemiga knows the possibility of them being flanked in, and Nafany's going from strength to strength. It's 3 kills, make it 4, and the ace with Gambit on the back foot. A real chance for Nemiga to strike.
Let's hit him in the face with that flashbang. Blinds himself, but still gets the kill, and well, for now, at least, Nemiga seemingly patient to build into this round. Now, this is a team that, from past recollections, they will fight banana every round. And I mean without fail. They love pushing banana. They love taking these aggressive fights. The problem is, normally you have someone like Lollipop to get you out of situations that end up a little bit sticky. Now they've got Forrester, who has unfortunately died on the other side of the map. And it's the rest of the squad looking to try and push into B.
Aggression this way comes. Gambit have to try and contend with a 4-man roster, pushing straight down them, breathing down their necks on B. Hobbit, though, perches up on the coffins, anticipating. And the Undertaker may very well get some business momentarily. Nafany with a 10th kill already. Funneling away one of the two Ts, but Jo has came in with the AK frag, and the plant goes down with sub 10 seconds. Axile, who was a real rock, a real master on Dust 2, has been put down by Box, and Nemiga actually making... Watching from the site, smoke deployed to the front side of the site. That's designated to put more pressure on the CT side, allows you to go for those sort of lurk peaks. That could bait Gambit into a false sense of security here, so they throw smoke in themselves. Another nade tossed in for good measure. Nemiga can post up Jo by himself and allow the rest of the troops to now slither their way back up middle. Time is beginning to dwindle away a little bit. 45 seconds, still more than enough time, but they have to make a commitment sooner rather than later. And they don't have a great deal of map control. They don't have middle just yet. Now Forrester's making moves outside of apps. They need to try and get some intel so they can feel confident about pushing onto B. Now, Forrester can maybe get an opening pick, try and draw one of these two players on B away from there, catch them in the chaos, catch them in transition. There's some ways forward. But now nafany, who needed to get a kill, has been dealt with straight away. A brisk headshot delivered first class. Hobbit now has to try and deal with the rest. Flashbang into his eyes. Good position, drops down, gets two through the smoke. 8 seconds to go, looking for more, gets more with a third. Runs out of ammunition, but he may have just stalled enough time. He's won the round. Hobbit wins the round and just pieces out into ruins. That is class.
Had a crazy, triple kill from Hobbit that never should have happened. And now a man pushing into apps with a deagle and killing two of you almost instantly. That's the 4 rounds that Gambit have had. They haven't had a buy round win, not one. And the scoreline is 6-4. So showing, obviously, that they can do it with the pistols, but at the same time, you almost have to look at this and go, Nemiga should be winning. And they're going straight back to this battle on Banana Box, looking to lead the charge. Already finding an opener, and the problem is Hobbit doesn't have much HP. He will hit the instant headshot as he looks to push into the site. The lurk now of Forrester doesn't become too valuable, but Shiro, he seems almost cursed at this point. I think he's had 1 kill with this AWP, the other with a P250 in the last round, and while Forrester, he's actually going to win that duel versus interz, leaving just the 2 players on this side of the map. Although I say 2, it was actually one of them being dropped by the nade.
Oh, the timing. Axel pushes through the smoke just as Speedak turns around. And Forrester, who has been in such good form and 12 kills, finished off by Hobbit's AWP.
It's not actually been the intent of Nemiga to go in this direction. They've been on Banana, and Forrester's been on A, and then he's just killed everyone. And I think a lot of that comes down to Gambit's almost need to try and either fight mid or try and fight in towards the apartments, because they're losing banana control so often that they're having to try and adapt and find control and information elsewhere. This time, though, they've seen nothing on banana, but still they didn't seem prepared for what was a fairly telegraphed mid-push. The nades, though, have done a ridiculous amount of damage. Axel not only with a kill, but chunking the rest down. Jo, though, has caught one on the response. interz hasn't done too much this game, but he may be clearing things up towards the end. It's left onto Speedak. He came close earlier, but this time it isn't to be. It's an entry fragger roll a lot when it comes to this map, and, well, he's terrifying. That's why we're bringing it up once again, that he is the player you have to fear.
Oh, Box pushing his own Molotov. Absolute madman. Did a ton of damage to nafany, had no idea, but then finishes off Axile, the man that you were just touching on as being a real issue to contend with. Well, it's shrapnel that basically finalizes him. Now, Gambit decide that Banana's a little bit too hot to contend with, so they back out into middle. And they have the scars of war to prove that they've been in quite the confrontation. nafany down to 43. They need an entry pretty desperately, but there's only one player here. Nemiga have over-rotated, leaving MDS alone, but now as a 3-man unit, they push back onto A. This is all timing. Can Gambit get on the site quick enough? It doesn't look like it, but nafany's in a good position. Gets caught out with a smoke, still has enough time to whip out the AK. There's 2 frags that come down. A man in form has put 3 more players in the concrete. And MDS, who's up close, has at least denied the bomb carrier, but can't do anything else. nafany again, with his teammates helping him out and supporting him. The likes of nafany have had a huge amount of impact. MDS, maybe a chance to get some damage done in middle. A lot of health being burned away, but he runs back out into Shiro's AWP. And to be fair, whether it was an AWP or whether it was a Molotov, he was a dead man regardless. Should probably have got a kill or two for his troubles, though. Puts more pressure on his teammates. Forrester just sits in mini pit, hopes for the best, hopes that they don't check that angle. But of course they do with this much time left. Now Geo joined alongside Speedak. They have the same task that was ahead of them last time around. They just have to save. There's no real options. There's no real potential for success. And this is now getting into that kind of realm of pretty dire situation, Tom. Nemiga just haven't really had any success on their CT side.
Yeah, I feel a bit bad for MDS in that situation. I think he did about 127 damage and didn't get a kill. Weakened up the players, but unfortunately when you have one of the solo rifles on that site at least, it doesn't really work. If you just do damage, you would have needed the Deagles to... But on this map, I actually do quite enjoy it. There's not many teams where I would say that a double AWP setup on Inferno is like something you should keep as a permanent fixture. But I think JO's secondary AWP around that B site is decent. And especially with the way he's been playing so far, hopefully this can be a bit of a change for Nemiga.
I hope that their fortunes change. First pick is theirs. So maybe something to really build behind. Big grenade damage, though. Hefty onto Geo. Still watching the angle. MDS in the alcove. A bait and switch. Has the Opera Speedak there. But the timing could not have been worse. At least MDS, though, will go unchecked. So he picks up another one. Flash out with the smoke. Pushes back Gambit, but they do maintain the player advantage. He didn't fall out without any kind of a fight. Forrester, M4 in hand from balcony, can get the first, dips back down again and picks up a second. Gets AWP'd out of his boots, but it doesn't matter. Nemiga just kind of detonated in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I think that's definitely frustration creeping in. Geo, though, trying his best to administer the soothing calmness of an AWP kill to his teammates, but out in the open, MDS moves, and those are the kind of peaks that cost not just you your life, but your team the match. GU now has so much more pressure applied to him, and he knows that that's an untenable position. He actually pieces out of there, effectively giving up B site to look for the retake. Now they're going to draw over the bomb in the hands of Exile. And Ju's still alive. This is why he backed away. It gives more chance to actually build back into this. And as soon as they get successful, it just looks like they're about to lose again, Tom. Like, at no point do you have confidence that Nemiga are going to get themselves back into this match.
Oh, they're looking to really put the pain onto this Nemiga roster. Money is completely in the bin. Forrester doing his best, but there's no way he gets out of this alive. 14-10, Gambit now pave the road onto... Lollipop's left hand will just be used for spacebar.
Well, Gambit, he can sense that weakness. Make no mistake, and they are circling their prey. Shot misses from Ju. He's been so on point. Those are two big shots that have gone eerily silent, though, in terms of the kill feed. Does come in, but a lot of this has been boxed. With that 5-7 frag, it really does allow the rest of his team to pivot in. 2-on-2 falls upon us. MDS with a FAMAS needs to land this, but comes out second best. His woes continue, leaving Forrester, the man on the T side that was doing so much work, will not check Ruin, and that will cost him his life. Shiro gets a third in the round.
Talking about sort of being missing, have each had their moments. Like, there hasn't been a single player on their side that hasn't had like a multi-frag round and won a round for Gambit, which is what I like to see. There's a lot of depth to a roster that, well, you go back 6 months or so, was considered the youngsters. Like, they were the team that Gambit were hoping would work for the future still. Now it seems like they've got their full faith.
Forrester playing with that smoke, thought about pushing through, decides better of that. Now Box has been smoked out in Library. The chaos about to be cultivated. Gambit have 35 seconds. Not a single player has fallen as of yet. Flash is being tossed in towards Arches, but no one pushes behind them. And their main linchpins on the side have now been thwarted. MDS stuck in the pit, needs to just get some kills, put down some damage. Good to see him come out swinging, but now Shiro, who's found some form, puts all the bullets down, and that's Gambit taking it 2-0.
Yeah, it goes the way we expected. I will admit I'm a little bit disappointed from what we saw with Nemiga. Sure, they've got a stand-in, but I don't think the stand-in underperformed by